Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I know it's a fine thing to name an athletic field as beautiful as this to a man who's been coaching. It's a great thing. And I know that Ira Means said that I deserved all these high honors. I don't deserve such a great honor as this tonight, but believe me, I'm taking it.
Hi, I'm Brad Boehner, Executive Officer of the Western Illinois University Foundation and a graduate, 1979 graduate of Western Illinois University. I have been asked many times about why our athletic teams at Western are called the Leathernecks. Was it something the students voted on at some point in time? Is it because we have a tradition of being a military-friendly school? Why is Western the only school in the United States that is allowed to use Leathernecks in association with our university and athletic teams? It has been almost a century since we were granted permission to use Leathernecks as our nickname. I hope this brief explanation answers your questions and gives you a glimpse of why so many of our alumni are fiercely loyal to Western Illinois University Leathernecks. The most storied and famous person in Western's history is Colonel Ray Rock Hanson. He arrived in 1926 with the heavyweight recommendations from two very famous football coaches, Knute Rockne of Notre Dame and Amos Alonzo Stagg of the University of Chicago, a Big Ten football power in those days. Hanson turned down an offer of $3,000 per year to go to Kansas University from the legendary Phog Allen. Rockne later came and spoke in the Sherman Hall Auditorium at the request of Hanson. Hanson served as the head of the physical education department and athletics and coached several sports during his nearly 40-year tenure at Western. The football field was named in his honor when it was dedicated in 1950, and the statue memorializing him was recently erected near the entrance to Hanson Field. And Rock is the reason why we go by Leathernecks at Western Illinois University. Rock Hanson came from Red Wing, Minnesota via Springfield College in Massachusetts after a highly decorated career in the United States Marine Corps in World War I. He was a member of the famous 96th Division, who were nicknamed the Devil Dogs by the Germans. He fought in one of the most revered and storied battles in Marine Corps history, the Battle for Belleau Wood. The Allies were losing World War I, and this battle turned the fortunes of World War I in favor of the Allies, and the fighting was fierce and the casualties were heavy. For his bravery, Rock was awarded the Purple Heart and the Navy Cross, the second highest medal that could be given by the United States after the Medal of Honor. Hanson had bullet holes through his helmet and canteen, and his rifle was shattered. His razor in his backpack stopped another bullet. But he didn't escape unscathed, as he was gassed severely with mustard gas. He received the Navy Cross for twice going into heavy enemy gunfire to first give aid to a fallen Marine, and then to bring him back to the Allied troops under the cover of darkness. When Rock arrived at Western in 1926, our nickname was the Fighting Teachers. Rock wanted to bring prominence to Western through athletics, and legend has it that he petitioned the United States Department of the Navy to be allowed to use Leathernecks as Western's nickname. Because of Hanson's distinguished career in the Marines, permission was granted, and our athletic teams have been known as the Leathernecks since 1927. We used the Marine Corps logo for many years, but discontinued that use several years ago as we felt that is something that only should be used by the men and women of the Marine Corps. In 1977, the Marine Corps presented Western with a plaque celebrating 50 years of our athletics team's recognition as the Leathernecks. That plaque, Hanson's uniform and medals, including the Navy Cross, and other photographs and memorabilia can be seen in Western Hall. Hanson was known to be a great leader of men, and because of that reputation, he was called back to service with the Marine Corps in January of 1942. He was to visit and encourage troops, and this also entailed escorting celebrities to entertain troops overseas. He became great friends with Tyrone Power and Ginger Rogers, who later gifted him with a new car after he returned to Western after the war. He also became friends with such stars as Bob Crosby, Sonia Henney, Pat O'Brien, Red Skelton, Bob Hope, Eddie Cantor, Rita Hayworth, Joe E. Brown, Kay Kaiser, Joe DiMaggio, and Ronald Reagan. Reagan remembered playing against Coach Hanson and Western's football teams while he was at Eureka College. Hanson returned to Western again in 1946, and his quest continued to build an outstanding athletic program at Western. The decade of the 1950s at Western is considered the golden era of athletics at Western. His athletes, and even the students at Western, were fiercely loyal to Rock Hanson. Rock retired in January of 1964 and remained in Macomb and a staunch supporter of Western until his death in 1982. The Bulldog as our mascot also relates to the Marine Corps and indirectly to Hanson. The bravery of the Marines at the Battle of the Blue Wood that led to the Germans calling the 96th Division the Devil Dogs eventually led to a poster featuring a bulldog in a Marine uniform chasing a German dachshund. After World War I was over, a bulldog became the mascot of the Marines, and to go along with our Leatherneck tradition, Western has had a long line of bulldog mascots over the years. Finally, our colors, purple and gold, relate to the purple and gold flowers that were very prevalent across the Midwest prairies in the early 1900s. Two school songs emphasized the school colors in the early 1900s. Sadly, it has been a few decades since Rock passed away, and even longer since he stepped down from his duties at Western Illinois University. Those who remember Rock are growing fewer by the day, but he placed his mark on Western in a way that no other individual has since the university was founded in 1899. I hope you have a clear understanding of why we are the Leathernecks and why Ray Rock Hanson are important pieces of the history of Western Illinois University. If you would like to know more about Rock Hanson and his life and times, we have a limited number of books in the Foundation office. Rock Hanson, The Life of a Hero, which was authored by Dr. Alfred Lindsay, a professor of educational foundations at Western, and published in 1991. It has many wonderful pictures and gives a great picture of life at Western during Rock's time in Macomb, as well as a snapshot of life in America from the 1920s to the 1960s. Thank you, and go Leathernecks!